All right. We had some really cool things this weekend. We're going to get into what's hot and what's the best thing that we saw last week. State in Texas happened last weekend. If you know anything about Texas, they run fast.
I don't know what's in the water.
Yeah, all the classes, all the divisions. Tate Taylor in the men's, I'm not going to say men's, the boys 100-meter dash, he set a new national record from San Antonio. He went 9.92. Let's go ahead and play the video.
One of the best starters in the game is Braden Williams, and he is there. Here comes Tate Taylor. They're neck and neck. There goes Tate Taylor. I told you Tate Taylor was one that can win it, and I think he does. We got to see this clock. 1.1, and there's a win legal 9.92. But
It was win legal.
It was win legal.
Yeah.
9.92.
Smoking.
That's insane. And also, he went against Braden Williams, who we talked about like a few episodes ago, who was at A&M and ran sub 10.
9.99 he ran?
So, like, to see them neck and neck and for Tate, new national records, insane.
Yeah, sub 10 in high school is crazy. I salute, that was Will Grundy on the call. Shout out to Miles Split. I salute him for keeping his composure.
Yeah.
I would have been on that mic, oh my God.
Like in high school, running those types of times. I hate to say it, we just saw those times in Shanghai,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
and Grand Slam, Miami.
If he did this in Shanghai, we might be,
Yeah, of course, environment matters and that changes things. But yeah, it's so impressive to see. Yeah.
Give Simbina a run for his money.
You see him on the podium, Nia?
I listen. Anything is possible in track and field.
I love
Anything
it.
is possible.
I love it. I want to get into one more. Athlos. The first time it started was last year. It started by Alexis Ohanian. They had basically, it's a women's track and field meet for those that don't know. If you know track and field, you know what this meet is. But it happened in New York. It's happening in New York again in 2025. And they basically have everything, I believe, from the 8 and down, but no, only hurdle event is 100 hurdles. They don't do 400 hurdles. But they announced that they're adding in field events now. So they had a whole thing. Tara Davis-Woodhall is headlining the women's long jump. I don't know what else they're going to add, but they had like a whole sand pit moment. But it's really exciting to see field get involved because you don't see field involved in Grand Slam, which RIP to field in that way. But I'm glad that Athlos is like, bring it in. What are y'all's thoughts on it?
Tara's kind of having a moment right now. It's like the month of Tara.
Tara?
It's
okay.
Pardon me, Tara. Yeah, she's at, like with her Nike deal and headlining Athlos. It's a good time to be her.
Yeah, I forgot about the Nike deal. I don't know how I could forget her and Hunter. It was cute.
I'm so excited. For sure. For sure. I'm so excited for this to be included into Athlos. I think with field event athletes, people tend to forget that they are the most expressive people in track and field.
Yeah.
Maybe whether they're super happy about their jump or maybe disappointed, you're going to see it all over when they run over to their coach. Maybe if they're as expressive as Tara is. Like, I want to see them really go all out. If they're able to do this, Athlos, credit me if you guys do this. Make the sand pink. Glitter, like, let her jump in some pink glittery sand.
That would be so cute. I don't know if Icon will let that happen, but that would be cute. Honestly, I could do a little petition. I could help clean it up. No, I could help put it in. I don't know about clean up, but
like pink glitter. I'm seeing it right now. Pink glitter sparkles. Tara's cowboy hat at the end of, or cowgirl hat at the end of the pit. Something where you're really able to see like her personality in between these jumps, because this is one of those events where you take seriously, but you're also going to have fun with it.
Yeah.
And I would love to see that. I think she is the perfect addition to kind of kick off the start of their field event entries into this meet. I think they got it right. They hit the nail on the head with having her in here.
The other thing I'm keeping a watch on is, they had Megan Thee Stallion, of course, last year. We haven't had announcement yet of who's going to headline. It's like the Coachella of track and field.
I know Alexis Ohanian was at Texas Relays asking everybody, like, who do you want to be here? Heard a lot of Rihanna's, but then Rihanna was just at the Met Gala and she's pregnant again. It's not Rihanna. I'm excited. Yeah. And I think they said somebody else, and Alexa was like, our budget isn't that big. It was like Beyonce or something, but hey.
I'm sure it's going to be good.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Stop her tour real quick just to come to Athlos. I think it works.
She could fit it in.
I think so.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to see who they end up picking. We have some time, though.
We do. I remember Alexis Holmes said at Milrose, she went to see Janae Aiko. And I was like, I mean, if I want to cry, yeah.
Trying to cry at the track meet?
But I will be singing my heart out because Dimitri knows anytime we're at a meet together and I hear a song, I'm like, oh, girl, they want me to sing.
No, she's like,
they
this
want
is
me
my
to sing.
song.
They want me to sing in here.
No, for real. There's some track meets that have really good music.
Yeah.
Like if I was an athlete getting my blocks, I would be having a good time.
That's a
Balance
big
it really well with
responsibility.
that.
You don't realize like how critical the DJ is at a track
Yeah.
meet to set the mood and the tone and for the fans and the athletes. That's a big role to have.
Yeah. In another life, I might be a DJ. I heard female DJs are like elite. I don't. Yeah.
100%.
So stay tuned. Might be my next endeavor. Track meet DJ.
They're the best. They're the best.
Yeah. I do have one more video. We're going to circle back to Grand Slam.
Okay.
Because we have to talk about it. So, as we know, we see people who oftentimes in the track and field space have to work other jobs because the sport, unfortunately, doesn't pay well. Or I guess necessarily people's work.
Historically, at least.
Historically, yeah. Yeah, we're making progress a little bit on the track side. But I think that we see now that we have Dylan Beard, who at the time, he no longer works at Walmart now, but he was working at Walmart and running, and then his story made it out when he won Milrose, and then he got a Walmart
Hey,
contract.
Walmart's first professional athlete, huh?
Exactly. I told him, I said, let me know when there's a uniform drop, because, he said not yet, but you see him. And then recently, Ja'Cory Patterson came out and said that he works at UPS, which, spoiler alert, a lot of these athletes have jobs.
Yeah. Well, he's not just working UPS, he's working the night shift, right?
Yeah, well,
Up at 4 a.m.
for practice, because he works the night shift. The video's on our Instagram, but yeah, working the night shift because he has to wake up for practice and do all these things to be a great athlete. Came out here at Grand Slam. It's insane. Yeah, no, it's incredible. It's also crazy that professional athletes are like.
Wait, and did he win?
He won the 400 world lead 43.9.
Yeah,
Casual.
and I think he got second overall and got 50,000, I believe.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, but then afterwards, we had a chance to talk to Michael Johnson about his viewpoints. And mind you, Michael Johnson's a former athlete, so let's hear from him on his thoughts on this whole situation of working while running.
Exactly one of the reasons. I mean, there are many reasons, but they all come back to one thing, and that is that this sport is amazing. It has amazing athletes, and the sport has been underappreciated, undermonetized, undervalued, and it's underperforming. And who are the victims of that? The athletes. So here you got a world-class athlete, one of the best in the world, running 43 seconds in the 400. It's not easy to do. Not a lot of people can say they can do that. And he's loading trucks, going to work at 4 a.m. That's insane. And so then an athlete like that, how many athletes over the last 30 years have decided it's not worth it, I need to go feed my family, I need to go make a living, and I don't want to wake up one day having poured 5-10 years into this and end up regretting it because I never was able to make an Olympic team or world championship team, because it's the only way you really truly can make any money. And you got to go and get a medal in order to be able to actually be able to make money. Even sometimes that, if you get an injury, contract's gone, right? So that's just not right. So that's why Grand Slam track exists, to elevate the sport. And when you elevate the sport, you elevate all of the athletes, and regardless of what level they're at. Somebody's going to say, yeah, but you're giving the money to all of the people who already, deserve it. People are saying are already making money. People said that. Ja'Cory wasn't making any money. He was working at UPS. Dylan's working at Walmart, right? These guys are now making money, so it's not just the people at the top, but you need the people at the top. They're the ones that create. Nobody. Look, I'm going to be completely honest. Nobody came here to see Ja'Cory. Now they will. They didn't come here to see Ja'Cory. If we didn't have Sydney, if we didn't have Kenny, if we didn't have Gabby, if we didn't have them, nobody's coming.
He's so right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hit the nail on the head. I think something, and maybe it's strong to say, but I fully believe track and field needs Grand Slam. They need them, because I think a lot of people got very comfortable with them getting paid pennies or nothing at all. They're running times that nobody can even think about running, let alone have the ability to. There's no reason why Ja'Cory is sitting here unsigned. I mean, I know he's with the Tracksmith amateur program, if I am not.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
He is. But Tracksmith, the way that program is set up, it doesn't pay like your regular brand.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure. Which is why he has to supplement it with UPS. But there's no reason why he's so gifted and he has these abilities. and he has to work the night shift, get off at 4 a.m., go to practice at 8 a.m., then have to tweak his sleep so that he can make sure he's up and running because he still has a job to do.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're employed for that job, your employer does not really care what you're doing outside of that. So kind of with that being said, the sport does need Grand Slam because somebody needs to open somebody's eyes to be like, hey, they need to be paid a substantial amount so they can work on their craft, hone in on their craft, practice, train, do everything that is very much so pertinent for a athlete to succeed. And despite him not having the time, the rest, the recovery to do everything he's doing, he's still coming out here and performing well. And I really do hope to see him in Philly.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. As an agent in the space too, so many athletes work. Like so many, like it's concerning.
And let's not forget, that's a very physical job. You know,
It is. And
lifting and
I think it's hard. It's tough for athletes though to find jobs that can work with the practice schedule in the middle of the day. Yeah.
that's respect. It makes it all the more impressive, and
Yeah.
especially when they come out with something good like he did.
Yeah.
Not to mention how dangerous it is. You know, this is not a team sport where you can rely on your teammate to maybe, you know, sub in or whatever because you may be tired or whatever the case may be. You're putting your body through a lot with the sport alone, and then now add in your loading boxes in a UPS truck. It's extremely dangerous. And even without considering loading boxes, recovery, rest, sleep is extremely important in this sport. You're not supposed to really go, as a human being, you should have 8 hours of sleep per day. But now as a track and field athlete, an individual sport, you are your team, your body is one. And he's probably not substantially getting enough on a regular basis.
I think it's so impressive though to take that into account and then for him to come up with that time.
Yeah.
Because I think people who do that, sometimes the times don't match what they're capable of. But for him to be able to execute that is amazing. I do hope a brand sees him because I think oftentimes a lot of these shoe brands only care if you have a medal, make a team and get a medal.
I feel like, I don't know if it's just me or maybe we're paying more attention to it, but I think something like Grand Slam, more of these stories seem to be getting elevated. And once people know their stories to go along with the performances, it makes it more compelling to kind of give them opportunities like a contract. And
Yeah.
so let's hope it's not much longer. He's going to be working the night shift.
I mean, if he keeps running Grand Slam, he won't need it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's good, like, you know, to your point, Johnny, that Grand Slam is deciding to step away from the norm because it's kind of been hush hush or a bit taboo or it's a thing where it's like, here's how we're gonna do this. You run your time. If someone picks you up, then yay. But let's not talk about it because that's just how it is.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Michael Johnson decided, you know what? Yeah, that's how it is, but that doesn't make it right. This is very wrong.
Yeah.
These are not regular human beings. They should be getting, first of all, treated at a level of celebrity that matches their ability, and then secondly, get paid as such.
Yeah, no, it's about time athletes get paid their worth. And hopefully we get into the field event side of things.
I know.
But I mean, track is the first priority for Grand Slam, obviously, but it's about time. And I think my hot take, I think shoe brands have too much of a role in track and field. And I think that Grand Slam is truly going to help grow the sport.